Did you know that 7 out of 10 tourists lose their restaurant reservations in Japan just by being 5 minutes late? From payment mishaps to bathroom confusion, these common mistakes can turn your dream Japanese vacation into an awkward adventure. Let's fix that today. Mistake number 1. Digital payment expectations. Despite Japan being a technological powerhouse with robots and bullet trains, don't assume you can pay digitally everywhere. Many stores and restaurants are still cash only, especially traditional establishments and small local spots. When paying with cash, look for a small tray near the cash register. That's where you should place your money, not directly in the cashier's hands. Some modern supermarkets and convenience stores now have automated bill and coin acceptors on their registers, but always carry cash as your backup plan. Mistake number 2. Being late for reservations. In Japan, punctuality isn't just appreciated, it's expected. If you're more than 5 minutes late for your restaurant reservation, don't be surprised if your table has been given away. This isn't like other countries where there's usually a 15-minute grace period. Japanese establishments take their scheduling seriously, and they'll assume you're not coming if you're not there on time. The best practice is to arrive at least 10 minutes early. If you're running late, call ahead. Some places might hold your table. Loving these Japan travel tips? Hit that like button and subscribe for more insider travel advice. Mistake number 3. Responding to shop greetings. When you enter a shop or restaurant in Japan, you'll likely hear a loud irashimasu from the staff. Many tourists feel compelled to respond, but here's the thing, you don't need to. This greeting is a standard practice in Japanese customer service, and they're not expecting a response. A simple nod or slight bow is more than enough. In fact, trying to respond verbally might create an awkward situation since it's not the cultural norm. Mistake number 4. Tipping culture confusion. Coming from a tipping culture? Leave that habit at home when visiting Japan. Tipping your server, taxi driver, or any service staff isn't just unnecessary. It can be considered rude or confusing. Japanese workers take immense pride in providing excellent service as part of their job, and the service charge is already included in your bill. If you try to tip, you might find yourself in an awkward situation where the staff chases after you to return your forgotten money. Mistake number 5. Waiting at your table to pay. Here's a common scene. Tourists sitting at their table after finishing their meal, waiting for the server to collect their payment. In Japan, that wait could last forever. The standard practice is to take your bill to the counter and pay there. Most restaurants will leave your bill at your table, but they expect you to bring it to the designated payment area. This system is efficient and helps maintain the smooth flow of service. Mistake number 6. Waiting for everyone's food. In many Western countries, it's considered polite to wait until everyone has their food before starting to eat. In Japan, this practice could leave you with cold food. Japanese restaurants serve dishes as soon as they're ready to ensure everything is at its optimal temperature and freshness. If your food arrives first, it's perfectly acceptable, even expected, to start eating. Your dining companions will likely encourage you to begin rather than wait for their dishes. Getting value from these tips? Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay updated on all our travel guides. Mistake number 7. Looking for public trash cans. One of the most surprising things about Japan is the scarcity of public trash cans, despite how clean the streets are. This isn't an oversight, it's part of Japanese culture. Most people carry their trash until they get home or find an appropriate disposal location. Even many public bathrooms don't have waste bins. The solution? Carry a small plastic bag in your day pack. You can usually find bins at train stations and convenience stores. Mistake number 8. Operating taxi doors. In Japanese taxis, trying to open or close the door yourself is a no-no. These taxis have automated doors controlled by the driver through a button system. When you reach for the handle, you might find it doesn't work, or worse, you could damage the mechanism. Let the driver handle it. They'll open the door when you're approaching and close it after you exit. This applies to luggage too. Let the driver manage your bags. Mistake number 9. Missing the last train. Japan's trains run like clockwork during the day, but they don't run all night. Missing the last train can turn into an expensive mistake since most lines stop around midnight, sometimes earlier in rural areas. A taxi ride could cost you 10 times more than your train fare. Always check the last train time when you arrive at a station, especially if you're in a less urban area. Take a photo of the schedule. You'll thank yourself later. Mistake number 10. Braving rush hour trains. Remember those famous videos of train pushers in Japan? They're not exaggerating. During rush hour, 7 to 9 a.m. and 5 to 7 p.m., trains transform into human sardine cans. Station staff literally push people into already packed cars to fit more passengers. While it might seem like an authentic Japanese experience, it's one you'll want to avoid. Not only is it uncomfortable, but it can be disorienting and stressful, especially with luggage. Plan your travel outside these peak hours for a more pleasant journey. Mistake number 11. Getting on the wrong train. Japan's rail system is incredibly efficient but equally complex. Multiple trains might use the same platform within minutes, and not all trains stop at all stations. Always check the train type, local, rapid, express, and destination before boarding. Watch out for women-only cars during rush hour. They're marked with pink signs. A wrong train can send you in the opposite direction or skip your stop entirely. Mistake number 12. Rushing for every train. In major cities like Tokyo, the next train is usually just minutes away. Don't be that person running through the station or diving between closing doors. Unless it's the last train of the night or a reserved bullet train, take your time. Trains run frequently and consistently. Plus, rushing on crowded platforms can be dangerous and is generally frowned upon in Japanese culture. Mistake number 13. Buying a JR pass unnecessarily. The Japan Rail Pass seems like a great deal, but it's not always worth it. If you're only staying in Tokyo or not planning to travel between cities, skip it. Do the math. Calculate the cost of your planned trips and compare it to the pass price. Sometimes individual tickets are cheaper. The pass is most valuable when you're planning long-distance trips, especially on bullet trains. Mistake number 14. Forgetting international driving permit. Planning to drive in Japan? You'll need more than your home country's license. Japan requires an International Driving Permit (IDP), and there's no way around it. Even those fun Mario Kart-style go-karting experiences require one. You must obtain this permit before leaving your home country. It's impossible to get one once you're in Japan. Don't let this detail ruin your road trip plans. Mistake number 15. Inappropriate footwear. Japan is a country best explored on foot, and you'll walk more than you expect. Bring comfortable, well-broken-in shoes. Remember, you'll often be taking shoes off and putting them back on at temples, traditional restaurants, and homes. Also, buying replacement shoes can be challenging. Japanese sizes typically run smaller than Western sizes. Your feet will thank you for planning ahead. Mistake number 16. Wrong squat toilet technique. While Japan is famous for high-tech toilets, you might encounter traditional squat toilets, especially in rural areas or older buildings. These require specific technique. Face the hooded end and position yourself closer to it, not directly over the hole. Many Japanese people actually prefer these in public settings for hygiene reasons. Don't worry, most places also offer Western-style toilets if you're not comfortable with the traditional version. Mistake number 17. Not learning basic phrases. While you can often get by with English in major cities, knowing basic Japanese phrases can transform your experience. Simple words like arigato, thank you, sumimasen, excuse me, and basic numbers can make a huge difference. The Japanese deeply appreciate tourists who make an effort to speak their language, even if it's just a few words. Plus, it's essential in rural areas where English isn't widely spoken. On that note, make sure to catch our upcoming video about when to pay cash instead of using miles and points for your flights. But now, back to Japan. Don't let these common mistakes ruin your Japanese adventure. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more travel tips. Drop a comment below with your Japan travel experiences, and let's help each other explore this amazing country better.